Good morning. Right. Audio check. Toast and butter on one side, toast black stuff, Irish butter.
Welcome.
Right. We are more or less ready. So let's knock off that. Turn on that.
We're still vassals, slaves. We're just in.
New game. Game name. Work across. Continue.
We're only getting started. Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Right, we are going to go with got here less challenging, one broadcast mechanics are less demanding. Oh, story mode, I suppose.
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
welcome to our first look at Not For Broadcast. Developed by Not Games and published by Tiny Build. Not For Broadcast is a darkly comedic game of televised chaos that lets you pick what you want to see on TV, no matter what anyone else wants. Egotistical celebrities, dishonest politicians and strange sponsors clash on the airwaves. You're here to ensure that the show goes on uninterrupted. Cut between multiple camera feeds, tweak the headlines, bleep the foul language, all with just moments to spare on a live broadcast. Whether you toe the party line or stir up a scandal is your choice, so long as you can hold the audience's fickle attention. Okay, so we are in story mode at the moment. So we got, what's this? This is telling us it's a tutorial to turn right.
Hi David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. Alright mate, Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're gonna have to run the news tonight. Now don't worry, it's not hard and I'm gonna stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm gonna give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right,
Cheers Dave for leaving me in the neck of it.
That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up,
Right.
and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master
So
screen.
basically it's like Streamlabs desktop. Studio mode.
Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now,
Roger that.
have a look to your left.
My other left.
These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left
Sound
them set
desk,
up for you,
speakers,
so provided you
VHS,
haven't fiddled
vision,
with them, all you have to
sound.
do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking
That's
ages.
the summer
There's
wine,
plenty
is
of
it?
time for me to explain. Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again. Right, won't be long now till the signal starts coming through from the station. Stay on your toes. All the bigwigs are in tonight because of the election, so we better not make any mistakes.
At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie, The Freedom.
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day, more prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. That's how I show love.
You're trying to.
Actually it's 6,
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be the throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right, button
That's
2
all coming up on
in
tonight.
3, 2. Lovely, mate. Next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes.
This is pretty cool actually for an idea for a game.
Here it comes. Switch to screen 1.
Now.
Lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in and it's a decisive win for Advance. The landslide victory, with an astonishing 81% of the popular vote, is the biggest election win in living memory. Advance appealed to voters up and down the country with their bold promises of permanent change. but critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition party...
So there's clearly a delay between broadcast and live.
But have yet to appear publicly.
Gives us a few seconds to damage control.
All you've got to do now is play the advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leader's acceptance speech.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh,
I thought I'd ask you about formation.
personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you.
I thought that was our little secret.
It's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Wicked, we made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts
No
getting
pressure.
a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1.
Stay who's
Try and
talking.
keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long. 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much for...
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first
Get
off,
ready to go to Megan on screen 4.
is
Copy
here the
that.
star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolfe, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to
go
the
to Blunderclatch on screen 3 when she says his
joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to 2 for the wide now.
May I say, having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Rat, that's Peter Jensen, the director.
Give us a look at Megan's reaction. Lovely. Now back to Thunder Twat.
I worked with him on several movies and terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Oh, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that
Been on that shot a bit long.
of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but honestly, who's counting?
Remember the 10-second rule.
2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am
back
not
to who's
in it
talking.
for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
That is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and
Audience is getting bored, mate.
and often that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, doesn't it? Giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire. I do it for the people, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, one should strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again. Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look. Exciting stuff.
Roll it there, Roisin. For those who watch the RTE, The Late Late Show, will know that one. From when Gabe Owen was the host.
I don't understand it.
It's not your fault.
You think I don't know that?
Condolences, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan. I did it for you, baby. All for you.
Dr. Hemlock.
We're gonna change the world, you remember? Won't I listen to you?
Dr. Hemlock.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see this.
No, it's all too late.
Look at this!
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
We could stop it all.
Yes, we could stop it all. We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button or the space bar on your keyboard for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you've got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder.
In one of 2 communal tents. Or you could take advantage of our famous nightlife.
Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping
no
like
bother.
a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down. Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Seriously, we've had worse. 5, 4, 3.
And we're back.
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advanced Headquarters, where the 2 leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast. Oh shit, he's pissed. Get ready to bleep.
thank you all for coming. And, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do it.
They certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shack.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put. Let's be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country
I'm on with the point.
you don't need a party.
Where's our stage director?
A team that can change things.
Been on that shot a bit long.
But today is day one of a new future. A better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know this sort of probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Shut up, Dave.
Turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats.
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose
Getting the hang of it.
children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been, in the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again, just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and
Oh,
gents,
wait for it.
I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that.
Not sure why we're bleeping that. And back to the studio.
Interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance. And our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble.
I heard that, Jeremy.
As the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Night of News.
It's all from him.
We'll
It's
be
all
back tomorrow
me.
with full coverage of the first day.
Two
of the
Ronnies.
month. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Old boring politics, then.
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying now?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not going for a drink?
Nope, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
But you ended up filleting Satan for the salty crumbs.
A+. Haha.
It's happening now, and it's all happening right in front of you. I'm Alan James.
Alan James is one of the country's most controversial columnists and speakers.
When the program's finished, you'll get a broadcast.
Ooh, achievements unlocked. Nice broadcast days. Something works.
Remember, grades mean bonuses, and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You've got a graph here showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And a course, you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once.
Alright, Dave.
Right, this is the important page.
You're a fickle bunch.
Paid and how much wealth you have overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares, you're a cleaner for God's sake, so why would you care? This is the last page and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks.
Right, okay. On we go.
Welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel
Why would I
1.
want to do this though?
At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the of 1871. Not one to miss.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the rushes route. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast.
Right.
Difference is you can mute any combination of them so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go. And when you're done listening to the backstage secrets, hit back.
I don't understand why this would be a thing though. Like,
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
Oh, but this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
Oh, no. I think they think you won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. He's not an...
Absolute bonehead. I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do 1 beastly interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss off. You're on thin, bloody ice, Rob. Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
2, 1.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance, but first our very own culture reporter.
Right, now what? Still don't get why this is part of the game though.
Warm, sandy beaches, clear waters, and fine dining. Well, we're not sure, but here in St Bumley on the Thames, we've got a big hill and the bus comes twice daily. Visit picturesque St Bumley this summer and experience a holiday that's simply unlike any other. Come and visit the abandoned spade factory. Your kids will love exploring the old production line in relatively
safely.
Grab your
tetanus shots and come down today.
There's no
gift shop, but feel free to grab an old handle and skip out the back.
Or why not indulge your cultured side and visit some of our sites of historic interest? Like
we get to do the voiceover for some of these. That would be good. Make our own ads. That actually would be interesting.
The fairly big cabbage, or the hole. Hey.
A hole, hey.
That's a nice hole.
That's a good hole for a bit of a swimming pool there now, lad.
After a long day exploring Bumley, you can relax.
Or you can put a bit of slurry in that.
2 communal tents. Or you could take advantage of our famous nightlife. There's a radio in the calf, or on Fridays we gather to watch tramps fight. Come on, Harold, you scruffy old meth head. Only 85 minutes from the coast, and with more than 2 areas of outstanding natural interest. Isn't it time
I think I'm going to have to put an 18 plus tag on this.
Hey, if you come in the dry season, you've got a car park. St Bumley, on the Taint.
Naturally. Please send all inquiries by post or carrier pigeon to the only post box, St Bumley, Bumley on the Taint, Old Countryside. Right, now what? Let's see what's next. Wait, why does it say, day 2? Okay, an unexpected forum. You arrive home to find post on the mat, most being nothing more than the usual junk mail. One letter, however, catches your eye. The team wants to know you. Curiosity is the better of you, and you open it. It's a form from the new advanced government asking for information on all citizens. The first page is filled in already. Your name, spouse, children. Well, you muse, at least I got the basics right. That's sort of questions I'll have for you to complete. Upon starting a new job, you would with friends about old jobs. Ease yourself in and orient yourself with your new workplace. A colleague in a different department has confided in you that they've been taking home confidential info. Now a file of minor importance has gone missing. You would report it to my GDPR compliance officer. Duh. But that's not on the list. Or is it? Recommend that your colleague reports it. Yeah, that way you're not getting them into trouble. The entire department was fired today for consistent underperformance. Her boss has put in place new targets that are significantly higher than previous. You would work on time because you ain't doing extra hours. With that sort of thing. The annual company barbecue, and you and your family have been invited. You are looking forward, are washing your hair. You go if you're free, but wouldn't mind missing it. Have been practicing with your co-workers. Think you'll win the talent contest this year. You've had a long successful career and are now about to retire. In your speech you list achievements and good memories you have working there. Give an honest review of the pros and cons of the company. Focus on issues and challenges you faced while working there. In your spare time you like to relax alone. Attend political rallies, encourage and support your children with hobbies, play in your local sports team. Ideal holiday getaway would be surrounded by natural beauty, exploring somewhere unfamiliar, a structured day out, a romantic getaway. It is most important that the government keeps people safe, free, happy, equal. Happy. Thank you for your cooperation. Sign your name. It's late. Sam and the kids have gone to bed. You're just drying up. Print's faded, but the goofy face still makes you smile. A knock at the window brings you back to reality. There in the garden, clutching a gaudy neon green suitcase, is Chris, Sam's sibling. As soon as you let them in, they sit at the kitchen table, visibly stressed. I'm so sorry for bursting in so late, Alex. But I need a favor. No need to worry, Sam. It's you I came to see. I just need 2 minutes. You've heard about the Assets and Wealth Act. Not really, must have passed me by. They're taking people's hard-earned money to fund the lazy. I'm not saying the top 1% or whatever don't have stupid money, but they can't afford it. People like me, we're going to lose everything, and that's why I'm here. Okay, so what exactly do you need? Look, I know it's a lot to ask, but I need to borrow your passport. They've taken mine and half the bloody countries, but people always say you and I look similar, so... Surely there's another way. You're joking, right? Your family, does that mean nothing to you? Okay, climb the stairs, blah, blah, blah. Let's go. Back to sleep. Things really that bad, apparently, but they'll be fine if they can leave. Supposed to be tearing Sam apart. Our family has always been close. You know what I would do, but it's not my passport. I can't ask you to give it up. You're right, I'll do it. Family comes first, or I can't do it. I'm sorry. Close the safe and head back downstairs to find Chris at the table, fidgeting. They jump up as soon as you re-enter the kitchen. So, have you got it? I'm sorry, you just have to accept it. Achievement unlocked. Screw the 1%. And we're back. Right, Roisin, where's my coffee? Your bulletproof coffee. Oh, is that the phone? Is that you, Dave?
It's Dave! Oh, Christ, it's noisy in here, Jesus. Right, hang on, let me just get out some flags, darling. Yeah, I'll take that one with me. Cheers. Right.
Dave, where are you?
Let's get set up and get on with it, eh, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on.
3 and 4.
And the trip switch, mate, otherwise nothing's gonna work. Right, let's load up the adverts. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they?
Should we play? Is this toy safe? Juste Cocon. I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm probably butchering it.
Right, you can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again. And the vision mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start.
Where is
it's
that?
Really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the vision mixer.
Okay.
You can see they now
A
have
and B, yeah.
A and B on them. And they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Now you're in auto headline mode, so if you don't bother to pick a photo before that clock runs out, the machine's just going to pick one at random for you. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully. And we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
Snuggle hugs?
That's the bastard.
Yeah, I wouldn't get one of those. My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon.
10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
To go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the country's wealth creators in a state of panic and unfavourable rumblings already heard from overseas, I'll be asking my guess whether Advance can deliver on even a fraction of their manifesto promises. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always
right, I see how this is going.
And graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to.
So the system should switch back to feed to Jeremy in the studio on feed 1 automatically.
In her first
There we
press
go.
conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash. Intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Svorsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's cave. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flood technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have."
I wonder can we mess
Playing
with
the
this?
field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. Johnny is seen here with socialite and performance artiste Tiffany Lamore.
Performance
whose recent
artiste.
show, Snatched Inside,
Is that what we're
Inside My
calling it?
Snatch, has kept her firmly in the public eye. Could romance be on the cards for these two budding A-listers? And grievous bodily charm. With advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight, are we using an advanced-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that, and Megan Wolf with a group of young actors
Okay, what
already
just happened?
experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
So we've got, what, 4 minutes of titles? That can't be right. Helen James is right.
Like of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd. Ignorant, sterile, and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last
I'm starting to get the hang of this.
Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they blur the appearance and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, we'll be laughing then.
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research.
I'm kind of
as I call them in my
paying
book,
attention to the little
the
source monitors.
Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Helen?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of bleep.
Don't get me wrong, I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Megan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them, then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately, I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Enjoys the abundance of benefits that only a true community can provide.
Got an A+ anyway. Right?
Absolutely fucking flying, I tell you. How's it going, actually? Fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later.
Dave, stop ringing me.
I'm just saying I'll do what I can, that's all.
Bullshit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said a bit of word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody.
Oisin, how's that coffee coming? We could do with a drop.
4, 3.
Welcome back.
And we're
In our
back.
second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem.
What the?
We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving.
Helen, get out of the room.
Time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Back to the studio.
Oh, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes.
Come on, Jeremy.
Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us. Next, I'm joined by Police Chief Constable Bob Peel, a man with a very different perspective on our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by
The
some
fella isn't
thug
having
with
a great day.
Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible.
Wow.
The Leviticus clearly states that...
Well, and back to the studio.
Jeremy, a bloody gimp's escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You go back in your gimp space.
And
Off you go.
whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people
Darling,
of this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Mummy said...
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said, get back in your gimp space. No! Naughty! You beast, Clive!
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story.
Should we not be doing some sort of a blur or
When our daughter Alice comes
effect
home
on
with an
this?
A-, does she go on a killing spree?
Like blur out his background or something?
And hide under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a swan. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not gonna be
no.
doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Hey! Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
Okay, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
Uh-oh.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris,
Oi, oi.
Little Chris,
Oi, oi.
and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
One sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news.
Bleeping.
Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. Just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Sopen!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
Sopen!
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas. I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
The little boy.
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here. Jesus.
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal
No
here, Tony.
fucking way. La Polita!
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back.
No, we're not. We're really not.
Tony, I mean, we're literally away for 2 seconds. How does this happen, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the vision mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed.
Wait a minute, what music bit?
I'm sure he's on his way. Come on, welcome back. How hard can it be? This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody. We're gonna open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Oh, right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff.
A bit of a double click there.
Maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history, Aristotle. I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences, and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
And teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like, maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance
2
arrived
days.
at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
How? How did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go at this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we bally well are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears. Tears. Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi, Gary. Oh, heavens, no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning, but will this make me feel better about my violent father?
Violent father. Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake.
Right, maths is for losers.
Oh, I
Now,
missed it.
Give me
Censor.
your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? What do you mean not today? My arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist. And you're just a sad little girl with 2 gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my 2 new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team. Yeah. And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all 3 of you. And I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be you. And you could be me.
Or you could be me.
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
I don't know what this digital thing down here is.
My choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice. Listen to that inner voice.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your cool laps. I'm a mother loving rebel, but I still love maths.
The amount of effort put into scripting all of this.
Probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice. And I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum for dinner. He had to wait. Where's my dinner?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman?
Go.
Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah.
They must have gotten loads of drama students or
Just work as a team.
put this all together.
It's your choice to be me.
Or extras from an extras agency.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes! Oh.
And we're back to the studio.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Dalton. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant.
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was
I think I'm in agreement with Jeremy there.
14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
Peloton unlocked. Achievement unlocked. Foresight. Okay. You have received a generous bonus. Current wealth broke ass is now worry and debt. Continue. Right, I think we're going to conclude our first look there. That was quite fun and amusing to try, and probably give it another go as well to do some other episodes on it. But for now, thanks for watching.